Well, folks, in today's video, or should I say today's videos, we're going to be restoring these locomotives. The reason I say videos is that my plan is basically to make this video where I try to restore all these engines right here, and then I'm going to break that up into 4 smaller videos because I'm headed off for a little vacation off to Jamaica, and I have to have some content for you guys, so we'll try to restore them all, and I'll break them all up for you guys. I think the engine we're going to start off with is this one. This is a GP7 apparently. I thought it was a GP9. I was wrong. This one technically runs. If you watched my other video, you can see it turns over, but the wheels are really dirty. It has no lubricant, and the cosmetic detail is pretty bad, but there's nothing really we can do about that. But we can try to get this thing working. So I'm going to go get a controller, and we'll see if we can fix her up. I'm going to try to test it again by just putting wires right up to the wheels, because the condition of my N-scale track is questionable, even though I cleaned it. And it's revving really high. It's not good though, because this is an all-wheel drive locomotive and these wheels don't appear to be turning. Let's see if I apply power to the back ones if they still don't turn. Okay, good, we've got all-wheel drive. I guess I was just pushing on them too hard or something. Well, that doesn't appear to be all that bad, so we're gonna try to just pop off these trucks gently. I'm not sure how you take off the shell on an N-scale engine, to be completely honest. See, the thing is, I don't want to break the trucks by accident trying to get... There we go. I guess you just turn them. Okay, I don't know what I just did, but it worked. So there's the gear worms. We're going to apply some lubricant to this. Now, for gear worms, I usually put grease on them. But in this case, since it's a really, really tiny engine, I don't want anything too thick that it can't turn over. So I'm going to mix this oil with the grease so we can change the viscous so it will be more appropriate for this application. So I've got my 2 lubricants. I've got my Labelle 106 and my Woodland Scenics Premium Hobby Lube. We're going to mix this in this little pan. It doesn't matter what you mix it in, just make sure it's clean. I find this strategy is also great if you have like a really old engine, because with a weak motor it's going to be able to turn over the grease. So we'll add a nice, great big drop to that. And I just need to find a tool to mix it with. Again, just as long as it's something clean. Half-broken drill bit, that should work. And we'll just turn it until it is mixed together perfectly. It's now about a minute later. As you can see, I've really changed the viscous on this. You can see it's a lot more loose than regular grease. So with that, I'm going to apply just a little bit at a time to the actual worm gear. And just spread it out nice and evenly, that way it will apply good coverage. You don't have to be concerned about getting it over the whole gear, because it will, obviously once it turns, it's going to apply it in all the spots you need. And my advice in general, only apply grease to the worm gears themselves. Gears don't need anything as thick. Very light oil is usually good for gears. So gear worms just need it because there's a lot of friction. So as you can see, I've got them both coated in our grease oil mixture. I'm going to add a really tiny amount of oil to the gearboxes. These N-scale engines need the very littlest amount, even less, you know, it's like I'm always saying with HO engines, just put like enough so that there's like a bit of residue. With N-scale engines, same thing, but like just very, very light. Like you don't even need a drop, you just need like a little bit on the tip of your lubricants dispenser, and it will get in there. You just don't want to put a lot, because these things are hypersensitive to that type of stuff. This one appears to have something a bit messed up. It snapped back into place. I'll just turn it. If ever you're turning these things, they should be very, very loose. If they're very tight, check to make sure there's not dust and hair caught in them, because if they are, that will obviously be a problem. And now I think they're ready to go back in. The wheels also need a really good cleaning, but I'll get to that later. So you guys can probably tell I'm not the most experienced working on these old engines. Whoops. Oh, there goes that weird window cover. Okay, I don't know what I just did, but I got it back in. Just play around with it, I guess, and don't be too rough, and it will eventually get in. I don't know. I'll figure this out. Got the other one in. You just kind of need to twist them and pop them in at a weird angle, and they'll go in. So anyways, we got them in. Now let's try adding a little bit of power. Let's turn the power on our lifelike controller, and we'll just give them a bit of power, see if this thing turns over a little bit better than it was before. Got a little bit of smoke. It's not coming from the motor, I don't think, though. It's coming from the wheels just because these brushes are burning whatever's stuck to them. Probably oil. This is probably over lubricated, and that's what's burning on the wheels now. I've got the wheels cleaned up. I basically just let the engine run with those pieces of wire touching it, and it scraped off most of the dirt. I also have two bitty pieces of N-scale straight track that I had lying around. Now the nice thing about N-scale, it's so small I can actually set it up on my workbench here. So we'll see if we got our little engine working here. Hey. This is on not even the best track, and you can see it's running like pro. We're going to turn down the power a little. Let's see if we can get it going at a slow speed. Okay, that's the wrong direction, but see, this thing it's working. See, it needs a little, like, that's fine right there. I call this one a success. So I'm going to call this section of the video done, and in the next video we'll be trying to restore its identical twin. So till then, thanks for watching. I'm thrilled. $5 N-scale engine, and it works pretty good. Very good, actually. I'm happy with it. Thanks for watching.